My dear students of class 8, today's teaching, you know, the American War of Independence. Your topic's name is American War of Independence. The name of your topic is the American War of Independence. In my previous class, I taught you about the role of the British colonies in America. You know, many European countries intended to establish their colonies at the time when the America was discovered. But out of them, the British formed their majority and they established their colonies, 13 colonies in America. Today's discussion, British colonies in America, the role of governor, causes of dissatisfaction. On these following points today, I shall clarify the subject matter of this lesson on these following points. The first one, British colonies in America. You know, the British established their colonies with a view to make them more and more rich, wealthy and prosperous at the cost of American people. That's why they established their colonies along the sea coast of North America. But at the same time, each colony had, there was a system they introduced that each colony would have its own assembly, which own assembly consisting of a number of representatives which would frame laws, impose restrictions, and also levy taxes on the Americans. Since the colonies were established by the British government appointed one governor for each of these colonies. Now, why is this? The role of governor. What is the role of the governor? The role of the governor. The British government appointed one governor for each of these colonies. Why? And what was the main duty and task of the governor? The task and role of the governor was to promote the interests of the British government without ensuring the interests of the colonists. Besides, the British government imposed high amount of taxes which obstructed the way of development in the field of trade and commerce. Besides, the time when they imposed high amount of taxes on the Americans, they all protested against that system. Why? Because there was no share in the British Parliament for the Americans. Americans were forced to pay taxes, high amount of taxes. But no seat was preserved in the British Parliament for the Americans. That's why they raised hue and cry, raised the demand by mentioning no tax without any representation, no tax without representation. This resentment among the Americans paved the way of a movement against the British. Next day, we shall teach about the causes of the American Revolution. The causes. My dear students, all of you must go through line after line. Whatever I am teaching you, you go through it. And if you have any doubt, any problem, you give your confusion and doubt in comment box. I shall try to solve the problem. I shall try to give the answers.